gonna remove this right here. Should just pop right off. Awesome. Along here, you're gonna see there's little clips with this line. Just follow it along. Should be 3 of them. Number 2, number 3. Awesome. Grab this, give it a little wiggle. Get this hose off of here. This should want to lift up. Just gotta get it just right. Right down along in here. We're gonna come right down along here with our flathead screwdriver. You're gonna see there's this little prong. Just kind of push down on it and pull out on the grille. Once those 4 are out, you can lift this up and remove it. We're going to take out this 10 millimeter. The same to the other side. So now we're going to remove this. I'm going to use my flathead screwdriver. And we're just going to give it a 1/4 turn. Get under it, lift it right up. At this point, you should be able to move this around fairly easily. We're going to do the same thing to this side. So right up here, you have a 10 millimeter. We're going to turn the wheel. Take a peek inside. You'll see another 10. Use your little pocket screwdriver. Try to pop out the center of these. And then once the center's out, usually you should be able to pull it out. That's the center. There we go. I'm just going to put the center back in that so I can save it. And do the same thing to this one. So we're just going to do the same to this side of the vehicle. So we're just going to take the bolts that we took out from up here, just give them a few good threads. And that's just going to make it so once we get everything else apart, we don't have to worry about this coming off, bonking us. What's this? We're going to use our 8 millimeter, remove this bolt and this bolt. All right, let's continue on to the other side. Pull this down, pull this one down. We're gonna try to get this panel out of here. Come on, there it is. All right, we'll do the same to the other side of the vehicle. All right, so we're gonna remove this screw and this screw right here. And to do that, you're going to use your T30 Torx bit. And that looks something like this. Do the same to the other side of the vehicle. So let's disconnect our electrical. Gonna take off the wiring first. Just gonna take this off. Awesome. All right, let's get this screw out of here. Do the same to the other side. All right, let's get both these bolts back out of here again. Over here. Bring this down to the ground safely. There we go. So you have an 8 millimeter bolt here, one right up here, and there's an 8 millimeter right here. That's a nice long one. So now I'm just going to take my pocket screwdriver, and then I'm going to push that out. Then you press right here, pull this, and then we'll grab this right out of here. All right, so we have our headlamp assembly. I'm going to slide it in. It's going to go right up along the top up here. This just goes right down like that. You're going to take your little bolt, the hole. Just gonna start it up in there. Take your little bolt, find your hole, start it in. We're going to take this bolt, and right along here. Hopefully we can find where it goes in. And now this can move around and we can snug it all up. So now we're just going to turn this until this corner comes up and it matches right there. That looks pretty great. All right, just get this snugged up here. That's nice and snug. All right, so I'm just going to center this, snug up this bolt. Okay. Right down here. Nice and snug. Hold on, wait a minute. Before you go too far, let's talk about the headlamp assembly alignment. There's going to be 3 points on this assembly that you want to pay attention to. You have this right here, this one right here, and then when you look underneath it, you have another one right there. All of these are adjustment points for the headlamp assembly to make sure that this can sit perfectly into the vehicle. If any of these are off, you're going to notice that your lines do not match up and the headlamp assembly is sitting crooked and it's just going to look like garbage. So make sure you make it so it's lined up perfectly all the way around by adjusting those 3 points that I showed you, and then we can continue. All right, let's bring this over. Be super careful for any paint. Just gonna grab my little mounting bolt here. So you get your little tabs on the bumper cover. We're gonna line those up with the holes on the fender, and then just try to push the bumper cover in once it's lined up. It might want to pop down a little bit, but once we put in screws, it'll be fine. We've got our little pitons. Yeah. Slide it in. Give it a little twist. We do the same thing over here. So we have our 2 screws. Right up in here. That's nice and tight. Do the same to the other side of the car. So we're just going to tighten up these 10mm bolts, and that's what holds the bumper cover. Perfect. All right, so let's get this marker bulb plugged in. That feels good. We're going to come over here. We've got the wiring for the rest of these. Nice tug. Nice. We're going to do the same to the other side of the vehicle. We're going to put in this little screw. Comes right through this and then into the bracket. Do the same to the other side of the vehicle. Let's get our wheel well back up in here. I'm just going to get it up so it's close. I'm going to make sure that this inner portion is pulled down because this part is going to slide in up above this. Pull that down, slide that in. There we go. Cool. That's just going to hold it for a second. And get the rest of this lined up. Just feel behind your wheel well and find where the stud is that's coming out. Line that up, and then just force the wheel well up and inside the bumper cover, just like this. Grab your other little nut here. I'm gonna leave those loose for now. Now we'll just grab our little push clips, and we'll start inserting these. Just try to push that in. You want to push with the outer portion, and then push the center in. We're gonna do the same to the others. There we go. All right, let's do the same to the other side. All right, so let's get the shield back up on here. Just start with one corner, and then just work your way. There we go. Just gonna push up as you go. Just like that. Grab this rearward one. That sits over the top of it. I'm gonna put in this last push clip right here. Do the same on the other side. All right, so let's get the grill back on. You've got these little tabs. They're gonna slide right in along here. And of course the same on the other side. You're gonna start with those. Bring them down. Get the little clips that come along the bottom of this. They're gonna clip right into the bumper cover. Just a couple loving bonks. Let's get this installed. Just slide it in along the front. Just like that. Make sure you get your cable out of the way. Yes. Cool. All right. You're going to run your cable down and in through these hooky-doos. There's 3 of them. In the center. One all the way on this end. Okay. This hose, it's very important to make sure you clip back inside here. If you don't, it could hit up against the fan. Grab this, click it in. This one, click that in also. All right, that's all pieced back together. Now we just need a proper headlight alignment. Now we're outside of the vehicle and we want to inspect the alignment of the beam itself. So we're going to go right over here to a wall and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're up at the vehicle here. We have the headlights on and you're going to notice the focal point of the beam is just about 24 to 25 inches. We'll call it 25. So now we're going to go over to our wall or door, whatever we're up against, and we're going to do our measurements from there. So we want to be 25 feet from the wall. Okay, so we're up against the wall. We can see where our beams are focusing. This one over here looks completely low, entirely too low. This one over here, probably entirely too high. So we're going to need a couple pieces of tape, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I just happen to put a little bit of tape on the door here, waiting for me. We're going to come right over to approximately even with the headlamp. We remember we were at approximately 25 when we were at the headlamp. We're going to bring the driver's side down. We're going to go 2 inches down to the 23. So I'm just going to grab a little piece of tape, approximately 23, straight across, just like that. We'll come over here to the passenger side. And this one we're only going to bring down 1 inch from the 25. So we're going to go 24. Go just like that. The reason for having the driver's side lower than the passenger side is because we don't want to blind oncoming traffic as we're driving around. So the headlight alignment adjuster is a 6mm Allen head. Just put this right in there like this, and then turn it the corresponding way to either bring your headlamp up or down. So now when we align the headlight, we have our tape here. We want to make sure that we have this white portion of the beam, not the rainbow portion, but the white portion, just below this blue line, okay? And the rainbow can be up here, whatever. But the focal point of the beam will be just below the blue line on both of our areas here. So to bring down the beam, I'm going to turn the screw clockwise. You're going to notice that it starts coming down. That looks pretty decent for the focal point of the white beam. I'm going to come over to the passenger side. This one needs to go up. So I'm going to turn this counterclockwise and should start bringing it up. That looks beautiful. That looks pretty good. All right, so we made it up to the wall here. We have our tape. We've got our beautiful white line. This looks great. As we come over here, you'll notice the same thing. Once again with the line. This is lined up perfectly. Let's take it for a road test down the road.